Hi, everyone. This is the four quadrants. What you're used to seeing actually is, I'm going to show you, in elementary school, you're actually used to seeing just, see if I can get some binders here, this part. All right, you're usually seeing here's your x-axis and here's your y-axis. And we're always working with our ordered pairs, and we're saying, for example, if you're going to do 4, let's do 4 comma 3, you would go to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. The reason why we work with just this in elementary school is because you're always dealing with positive numbers. Well, now we're not dealing with just positives. We're dealing with positives and negatives. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all four quadrants. The quadrant that you've always been working with is actually called quadrant 1, and we use it as Roman numerals. We now go counterclockwise to find our other four quadrants. So here's quadrant 2. Here's quadrant 3. And here's quadrant 4. And 4 in Roman numerals is IV. So just to show you a little, where's my notepads? Here they are. To show you a little brief of Roman numerals for I, that represents 1. And the rule is actually you can only go in in groups of 3. So as soon as you want to do 4, you have to take the Roman numeral of 5 and do a little bit of subtraction. So if you put the 1I in front of the V, you're saying 5 minus 1, which is 4. If you just say V, that's 5. And then any one that you put after, that's addition. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So that would be 6. If you add another one, that's 7. Okay, so that's just a little Roman numeral math for you. All right, so going back to our four quadrants, you have quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all across, this is your x-axis, and all going up and down is your y-axis. So we know right now that from here, this is our origin. I'm taping, Tiana. I know. Okay. So this is our origin, which is O. So right where your x and y meet is where your 0 is. So now we know that if you look at just this x-axis, and I'm going to write x-axis, A-X-I-S, all right? If we're looking at just your x-axis, you're going to see that it's actually a number line. So from the right to the right of the 0, these are all your positive numbers. So this is all your positive numbers. So let's write our positive numbers. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you notice, I'm writing on the lines. I'm not writing in the spaces. So that means if these are your positive numbers, that means going in this direction are your, I know you want to say it, negative numbers. So now let's write -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. Now I need you to be careful because a lot of people, what they do is by accident, they write -1 here and then -2, -3 because they're so used to writing their positive numbers in that direction. Just remember, it's the same distance from 0. So if this is 1, then that means this has to be -1. Okay? So that's our x-axis. So let's do our y-axis. So think of a thermometer going up, okay? These are going to be your positive numbers, okay? Everything goes higher, all right? And then going down, obviously, is going to be your negatives. If I actually flip it, you'll be able to see it like a numbered line. Here's your positives, here's your negatives. All right, so we're going to do our arrow. And I'm going to say positive numbers. And I'm going to write, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now going down are my negative numbers. So it's -1, -2, -3. I know that I don't have -4 like I have 4 up here, and that's fine. You see my arrows are continuously going up, down, and to the right and to the left. So it's just that my graph paper isn't going long enough. But yes, underneath this is -4. Okay, so let's see what we're missing here. All right, we have one more thing. We need to figure out what our ordered pairs would be. So we know from elementary school and from what we've done this year, we know Roman numeral 1 is when we have all our X's are positive and all our Y's are positive. So anything, any ordered pair in this section, in this quadrant, are going to be positive. And if you remember, your ordered pairs are always X, comma, Y. So my X is going to be positive, so I'm going to write a plus sign. And my Y is going to be positive, so I'm going to write a plus sign. So any positive and positive ordered pair you have is going to be in this section. So let's go to quadrant 2. Quadrant 2, remember, X is first. So now look what my X is. My X are negatives. So that means my X is going to be negatives, but my Y's are still going to be positive. All right? So now let's go to quadrant 3. So let's go back to this X. X is here, so X is negative. And look at my Y. My Y is also negative. So I'm going to have negative, negative. And then let's go to this quadrant, quadrant 4. Quadrant 4, you have all your X's. Let's write my ordered pair here. So I'm doing X first. X are positive, but my negatives, my Y, are negatives. All right. So in previous years, they've said, my students have said that this is like an owl's eyes being open. And then if you go directly across, like diagonally, your owl's eyes are closed. All right, so they are always going to be opposite if you go diagonal. And when you look here in diagonal, they're winking at you. The owl's winking at you with a different eye. Okay, it's going to be one positive, one negative, one positive, one negative, but it's going to be the opposite. All right, so this is your 4 quadrants. Make sure you print out the blank one that I gave you for a copy, and then copy this. And then you're going to take a picture and submit it to me. All right. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.